In this video, I'll be sharing my F1 visa interview journey with you, how I did my application, how I was hunting for dates, and how my interview went, and after my interview what I did to get back my passport, because that's another story. When it comes to US visa, we have different kind of visa. For students, you need a visa called the F1 visa. That is what I used coming to the US. So before you can even apply for the F1 visa, there's something we call the SEVIS number, and that number will only be given to you if you get admission to a US school, a US accredited school, because there are schools that are not accredited, and if you go and apply for a school that is not accredited, you won't get the SEVIS number to apply for the F1 visa. Do you get it? Oh, and I did forget, you can apply for a B1 and later you change it to F1. I know two people who did that, but I don't know how it works. I'll be mentioning a few people's names that they were very, very helpful in this process. And if you're going to do this process on your own, you really need a community. Honestly, I cannot stress this enough. You need a community of people, like 2 or 3 people that would help and assist you, give you morale, help you to look for dates, because you will go through it. So when I got my admission in October, I think I got my admission October 11th. Yeah, October 11th. Ben wanted me to get my MRV forms that day. And I told him, look, it's already 4 p.m. It's too late. I would go next week to get my MRV. Monday came, I didn't go buy my MRV. I don't know what I was doing. I was just wasting time. And Ben called, he was like, have you gone to buy the MRV? And he said, you need to hurry up because you need to get dates. And I said, okay, fine. But I'm contemplating where I want to do my interview, because I know for a fact that Ghana, there's no date. I didn't have the funds. It's not like I didn't have the funds. The funds I had, it was for traveling, because I didn't want to spend that much on traveling somewhere, booking a hotel, doing your interview, and then coming all the way back to Ghana again before now booking to go to the US. That's so much money. On Friday, I decided to buy the MRV form. I went to GT Bank. So apparently I didn't know you could pay online, but people were having issues with paying online. And I went, there was a male and then a female that were seated. So I went straight to the male and I asked him to get MRV forms. And this guy asked, do you have a mental number? And then also they've changed the application website. So this new website, it demands you to have an amendment number. And the thing is, the guy, he wasn't explaining anything. You could see from my face that I'm confused. I don't know what you're talking about. So I went out and I called Ben, and Ben said he doesn't also really know the amendment number because he's used to the old system, because he left with the old system. And then the new system is a different system altogether. So on social media, I was searching. Eventually, I realized that you need to put in an application to get your mental number. And I was trying to avoid that because initially when I tried to put in an application, it was telling me to choose a country, and the moment you choose a country, you cannot change it anymore. I went back and I called Ben. Ben was like, you know what, put in the application, but if I choose Ghana, that is it, so I can't change you, and I don't know if I'll get a date in Ghana. He was like, don't worry, you'll get a date. Boy, don't give me morals and that. My baby boom, don't worry, Jennifer. Pick Ghana, you will get dates. Don't you have him? Don't you have faith? That's what he keeps telling me. I chose Ghana, generated a mental number, I printed it out, paid. So when I came back, I didn't go back to the guy because the guy was so annoying. I went to the woman. The woman was so helpful. The form was 185, so back then I got it for 3,500 because of the exchange rate. She mentioned that it would reflect 2 business days before I can get access to booking dates. One day, Kobe called and Kobe was like, I should check if that's reflected, and lo and behold, I could access booking sites. The old system, you could be able to book a date if you don't get a current date. You don't get December or January or February, and then there's an available date in 2027, 2026. You can just book those ones. But this new system, you cannot do that. If there's no date, there's no date. That's as simple as that. If you open the website, it will tell you there are no available dates, and that is it. You cannot do anything about it. You just have to log off and then come back later. This is when Ben told me I needed to fill my DS-160 and also to pay my service fee. The DS-160 is for everyone who is coming to the US. You need to fill a DS-160 about your whole personal information, what you're coming to do in the US. For what I know, they told me that I should not submit the DS-160 until is close to my interview date, because probably it might change. And it was good I didn't submit, because when I got my admission, I didn't get a full scholarship. But in November, I got a full scholarship. So I had to change my I-20. I-20 is just like an admission form that has your service number on it. And then I had to change information on my DS-160. One thing about the DS-160 is if today I filled the form, and from now to the next 30 days, I don't touch it, everything will wipe off and I would have to come and fill it again. So what I was doing was, if today was the day I filled the form, maybe 10 days I go in and then I try to do a little bit of changes, not changes per se, just like I just want my presence to be in the DS-160, so that then my first day will start from the 10 days that I went in. Do you get it? The problem with the service payments is that you can't pay in Ghana. You can put in the application in Ghana, but you can't pay in Ghana because you need to do a money order and you needed somebody in the US to pay for you. Even though I didn't have my interview date yet, so whilst I was looking for dates, I was trying to gather my documents. You know, getting a visa date is very, very tricky because I knew very well that I couldn't look for dates on my own. I gave my password to two of my friends, Kobe and Ben, to also look for dates for me. We're doing so well for me. They wake up at dawn to check. I also wake up at dawn. When I wake up at dawn, I will see a date. When I pick it, they'll tell me slot used. When do these people even get up to look for dates? Then when the slot is used, it goes back to no available dates. Look, that process is tiring. I was really going through it. And I'm at work, I'm checking for dates. So I had to just go down on my knees and I was like, Lord, I don't want to go to the interview when I'm at work. So I'll be going on leave very soon. I want to do my interview during my leave before I resume, because I'll be resuming on the 19th of December and I was going on leave on the 18th of November. I got my admission on the 11th of October and I paid for my MRV on the 17th of October. From 17th of October till 16th of December when I interviewed, that was how long it took for me to get a date and also to interview. I contacted Ikea for help. She was a doctor in my workplace and she had also gone to the US. I need to prepare for the interview and I don't have any resources. I just need a mock session. Do you have anything? She gave me Tim's number and she also gave me Sowed's number. Sowed was for me to communicate with her because Sowed was also going for the interview. She was also going to school. I contacted Tim. Tim actually has a consult, but I didn't use his consult. I just used him as a friend. I told him that, okay, right now I'm looking for dates. And he said, okay, if he hears any dates, he'll let me know. And then he sends me the link to their mock sessions. It's for free. You don't need to pay or anything. He sends the links to me that I can join and listen and also prepare. I do the mock session on Tuesdays and Thursdays around 11 p.m. Ghana time to 12 p.m. It's just 1 hour. But initially when I joined, I don't talk. I just listen to what people say and I'll come back and come and create interview questions. So the interview questions, I got interview questions from Ikea. She had a whole word list. In middle of November, that is when I got a call from Sowed and she told me the release date. It was for March. My program starts on the 21st of January. I got a date for March of 2025. I picked it anyway because it's better than nothing. And then one thing about the new system is that if you do not have a date, you cannot apply for emergency visa. I needed a chance to apply for emergency visa because I thought I was not going to get it at all. And I was looking for all the documents I needed to prepare for emergency visa. That's when I realized that with the emergency visa, you're supposed to apply for it 60 days to your start date of your school. I went on my knees and I was like, Lord, I really need to interview. I need you to do something for me. That was when, 6th of December, I went hiking with my family on the Ebri Mountains. And whilst I was coming back down, I don't know, something was just on me, like I should check for dates. I tried checking on my phone, but the network was so bad because I was descending the mountain. I got down, I forgot. While we were in the car, we were going to the beach. I got a message from Tim. He was like, Jennifer, dates are out, check it out. I checked. I didn't see anything. So that's when I texted my two friends that were helping me check for this. I checked, nothing showed. I went back, I told him. Then I think 2 minutes later, he texted Jennifer, check again. Lo and behold, I saw dates. Dates were released. 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. I'm resuming on the 19th. I picked 16th because 16th worked for me. Remember, I already picked the date for March. So what I did was, instead of selecting a new date, I just rescheduled my date. From the 6th of December to 16th was like 2 weeks. So that was when I started becoming serious with the preparations. When I secured my date, I had to quickly pay for my service fee, submit my DS-160. Contacted my in charge. She gave me a bank account in Ghana that she told me to send the money to, so she could use her money here in the US to pay for me. So when she paid, she emailed me the receipt, because the thing is, you need to pay your service fee 2 or 3 days before your interview. Why? Because it won't reflect until 2 or 3 days. And I also submitted my DS-162 on that same Tuesday, because she needed to submit it 2 or 3 days before your interview. Next Tuesday, I joined the mock session. This time, I decided I wanted to talk because I had to practice before my interview. Thursday, I interviewed again. They took us through a document. So they'll mention the documents you show. The mock session was very good. Did I tell you guys that the Monday to the Sunday before my interview was Shiloh? If you know Winners Chapel International, we do every December, we do something we call Shiloh. That time, I didn't give God gabao. On Saturday for Shiloh was where we do our sacrifice seed, and then on that Saturday I went to church and I was like, Lord, I sow my seed, and this seed represents the number of questions, the time that I'm going to spend on the interview. I just want to answer 2 questions, and that is it, in less than 1 minute. Look at me telling God what I want. That was when I realized that, look, if you put God to test, he would never disappoint you. I just want you to understand that from the beginning till now, everything that has happened is not by my own doing, it's just God. Because everybody I told them my story, how everything just kept like going for me, it's God. And the big day, on the 16th of December, my interview was for 11:30 a.m. When I got there, I didn't know where to put my bag. I saw a police kiosk. I saw people putting their bags there, so I decided to put my bag. They said, didn't they tell you not to bring bag? And I said, I actually have to go to work after here, which was a lie. They were so rude though, these people. If I tell you the attitude before and after, you will shock. Police. I left my bag. I was in a queue. It was a long queue. Me, I thought 11:30 is just me. No, 11:30 is there's a lot of people. The queue you saw in the video is the first queue for you. They'll check for your confirmation receipt to know, yes, you actually do have an interview that day. And after the confirmation receipt, you go through a heavy door. Through the heavy door, then it will tell you to put your documents on something, and then the document to go through like x-ray. You also go through x-ray to see if you have anything on you. After that, you go through another door out. Then you see a yard. The yard is a shade. So we all sat over there. Whilst we were sitting, they'll call you to do your biometric. They check your DS-160, they'll put something behind your passport. You join a queue to do your biometric. After you're done with your biometric, you have to come back to the yard. We went back into the building. We were going to interview, we're standing. So 5 at a time. So it was a male and a female. And the security guy was like, come and join the queue. I went and I joined the female queue because the female had denied somebody. So now the female queue was 4, and then I needed to join to be 5. There's a window and the visa officers are behind, and there's a small window there that when you go, you just have to slip your I-20, your passport and all those things. You just like slip it under there. It got my turn. So when I went, I just slipped my I-20 and passport through the window and I gave it to her. She didn't even ask me. I just did it because I saw people doing it, so I just did it. She asked me, what program are you studying? And I told her a master's in this and that and that at the university of and that and that and that. So when I was about to continue, she cut me off. She asked, what research are you doing? And I said, research? I'm not doing research. I don't know why I did that facial expression. I'm supposed to do a health project at the end of my term, and I'm supposed to develop it, implement it, and evaluate it. That was when something clicked in my head. She was not asking for my project. She was asking about my assistantship. And I said, oh, assistantship is a teaching assistantship. I am supposed to teach the course first aid and safety. She was like, your visa has been approved. Those were the only things she asked. When she said your visa has been approved, I froze. Every other thing she said, it just kept farting. I took the paper because I was so shocked. I didn't even wait for her to be done with whatever she was saying. You know how when you are approved, they'll tell you, you wait for 2 weeks to get your passport, and I didn't even wait. I just took the paper that she was like, then soon I was gone. All the people that went before me, they all stood there like a minute or 2 or 3. But for me, it was that quick. It was less than a minute. I didn't even spend 50 seconds. And I talk so fast, so I just kept saying it quickly, and we give God all the glory. You know, when you're going in, the attitude they give you is different when you get approved, they are coming out. I went outside, I went straight to these police people. The police would ask, did you get approved? And I said, yes, I did get approved. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And yeah, like my Christmas idea. You guys are so rude to me when I was going in. Now that I've got approved, do you want to be all smiley and all friendly to me? I told them, oh, I'm now going to work. After I'm going to Juma, like, you're like, oh, your last Ghana cedis, give it to us. I was like, I've not even left the country yet. What do you mean my last Ghana cedis? Ghana police. He told me my passport will be ready in 2 weeks. He told me why when I go home the next day, I started tracking my passport. Went to the tracking website, nothing was showing. The next day, I tracked it. Nothing was showing. The next day, I tracked it. Nothing was showing. Let me just wait. 25th December exactly. Like, you know how the Holy Spirit will just keep pushing you to do something? Yeah. So the Holy Spirit was just pushing me to check the Telegram group I was in. So that Telegram group was just to get information. Now going through people's messages, and there I saw someone who said, if you had your interview on the 16th of December and you've gotten your passports, please text me. Then it clicked. I was like, hey, people have their passports. Just said a guy that's like, oh, he just went for his, so I should like check. I went, I saw that on the 17th, I did my interview on the 16th. On the 17th was when they dispatched my passport. But on that 17th, I checked, nothing showed. I went to the website that I needed to book for my passport collection. I booked an appointment for 30th. I got my passport, I got my visa, everything looked so good. And right there and then, I went for my vaccination. So here's the thing, they will tell you, they will send you an email to notify you of they dispatching your passports, but honestly the email won't come. Just be proactive and then be checking the websites to see if your visa is ready or not. And looking back, all the things I told God, like, Lord, I want to interview before I go back to work. Lord, I just want 2 questions. Lord, I want to be interviewed less than a minute. It all came to pass. That is when I realized that if it is your time, it is your time. Nothing will contest with it. If you hold on to God and you hold on to His word, the thing is, it depends on the question you are being asked, honestly. There are some questions that demand long answers. Sometimes, if they don't cut you off, you can just continue and keep telling them all those things. But if they do cut you off, then you just shut up. So for me, I only told them my program in my school and they cut me off. They asked me the next question. For people that I saw, some of them, they had explained themselves so many times, and some got approved through that process, some got denied. You can't say for a fact that this method works. You can only just be confident, look them in the eye, and then have God. If you have favor, even if you make a mistake, it will override it. Even if you talk less, it will override it. That is all that matters. Favor. The favor of the Lord. If you have to correct them, correct them. Me, community, you need people to actually help you. You can't do this alone. If you're not going to use an agent, I was the King Kong of doing things alone. This process taught me that I needed a community, from applying for my school to applying for my visa, coming to the US, and how my friend helped me from the airport to my accommodation. She helped me secure an accommodation and all that. Even if you use an agent, don't leave it to people. Even the DS-160, end of everything, they ask you that, did you fill this form yourself? To summarize everything you said, how to apply for your F1 visa is you need to get admission to a school. You will need to get your service number from that I-20 and apply for your visa. Generate an Amentu number and use that Amentu number to buy your MRV form at any GT bank. You start looking for dates. Ensure that you have people that you could share your password with, so they could also help you look for dates. You also have to join a mock session group that help you prepare for your interview. Ensure to get a list of documents you need and just prepare for that. And before your interview, make sure you are confident, believe in yourself. If you go for your interview and then you are approved, always track your passport, because you won't get an email. And when you get your visa, don't forget to start preparing, getting your vaccinations and all those things. In the description below, I would list the documents I took to the interview. I'll also list the Telegram group I was in. I also share the link for mock session group. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section and I would answer. I think I've said pretty much everything you need to know. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was interesting enough, and I hope you learned one or two things from this video. And if you missed my travel vlog, I'll link it right to this video. Just watch and see how I traveled from Ghana all the way to the US. See you in my next video. Bye.